Hello, welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is time for us to go and do a garden update. It's been a week and we will go ahead and harvest a few things while we're doing our garden update. So let me tell you what's been going on at Kim's Cozy Corner. It's actually been a pretty busy week. I worked super hard this week, had a lot going on. I had training, that kind of stuff. So I didn't get a lot done this week, but the garden has continued to flourish. And now I'm going to show you what the garden's been doing. So we're going to start with the indoor GreenStalk that's in my dining room. So my dining room is just off from the kitchen, and y'all have been in here many times before. And so it's a formal dining room, and I have a GreenStalk over here. This GreenStalk has one of the ultimate movers that it just rolls so easily all over the floor. And I have it in front of, let me get away from that light, in front of that west-facing window, so it gets nice warm evening sun. And you know we need that because we're in February and it's not always that warm in February. It is at the moment, but it hasn't been. So it gets the warm evening sun over here, but we haven't had much sun lately. So I did put a grow light on it. I just turned the light off so we can see it. So let's turn the grow light back on. Oh, I think you can see it without it. But in the top, I have Cherry Falls tomatoes, which y'all, let's see if I can get it where you can see it. Y'all, there are little buds on there. You're not gonna be able to see it, but there are little bitty buds on there. In addition to little buds, y'all, this thing is blooming from a cucumber standpoint. Look at that, y'all. Cucumbers are blooming over here. Now, in order to grow cucumbers indoors, they got to be self-pollinating cucumbers. This one here has little buds on it as well. It's thinking about, if I can get it there, right there. It's thinking about starting to bloom as well for those tomatoes. I also have lettuce up in the top. So there's lettuce. And then in this next tier here, I have basil and collard greens. Now I have a few that didn't make it. Like right there, that's supposed to be basil. It didn't make it. And these collard greens didn't make it because we have a collard bandit called Buttons who's been terrorizing the bottom tier of this GreenStalk. But y'all, it's still looking good. Now this GreenStalk was supposed to be green flowers. That's what it's supposed to be. But being the time of year that it was, I couldn't find the flowers that I want in here for a long period of time. So we filled it up with Kim's Cozy Corner vegetables that came from the Kim's Cozy Corner seed bundle that I'm working with GreenStalk on. And so in that bundle, all of these different types of vegetables are part of that bundle. We started them indoors and then we transplanted them into this space here. So the Georgia collard greens, the Genovese basil, Cherry Falls tomatoes, and the Muncher cucumbers are all from that bundle. And I do have a gate. There's a gate right there that I put around it when Miss Buttons thinks that she wants to have a few greens for a snack. Moving on over, I replanted the hydroponic system here. I had to turn the light off so you can see. And with the replanting of the system here, some pockets, I don't know, maybe you can see with the light on. Some pockets came up and some didn't. So Cimarron is still a no-go, but the Burgundy Delight, y'all, that Burgundy Delight is coming in. Here's a picture of what that's supposed to look like. That one's new to me this year. No Tom Thumb. Butter Crunch is coming in the back. This right here is a little gem. It's I think it's a type of romaine lettuce. It was completely covered a week ago by the ruby red that was growing behind it. We harvested the ruby red. We planted some more ruby red in the same spot, and it has already come up. And now this one is getting healthy. So that's a good thing. But there are a couple pockets that decided not to germinate, but y'all, that's okay, because if these pockets that did germinate do really well, there was no room for anything else anyway. I'm moving over here to this one. Let's turn the light off. I just think it's a little easier to see with the light off. But y'all, cucumbers are growing up this picture right here. These are quick snack and mini me cucumbers, self-pollinating. And I got some right here. There's some right there. There's some on the back side. There's some up here. Some sitting on the top in that hydroponic system. Now, I will not be harvesting cucumbers because, yeah, I still have cucumbers in the refrigerator from the last time that we harvested, and they're still quite tasty. Yesterday, I had a salad that had cucumbers and microgreens and tomatoes. Yeah, I got a new love for microgreens. I'm really getting into the microgreens. So you're going to start seeing a lot more of those around the indoor garden for Kim's Cozy Corner. But the tomatoes are also doing amazing. So in the front here, these are yellow tomatoes, and they are really starting to come in here. They are well behind my orange hat, which this will be our first time harvesting. Orange hat. I think I harvested one off of here, but that's orange hat right there. They are very happy and healthy upstairs as well as downstairs. There's a better picture of that orange hat. Now, I'm not harvesting many, but I am harvesting. That's all that counts, right? We're getting food indoors in February. These are the cucumbers that have come around this way. I'm kind of trying to let them grow behind that orange hat there. But all of a sudden, this one has gotten pretty heavy. It's top heavy, so I need to give it a little more support. Now, someone else said, hey, my tomato plants are getting higher than my unit, which I'm getting close to that, but I would just clip the tops off or take some twine to hold it up and together to kind of keep it under the light. But y'all, it's happy. What I did do is start losing some of my cucumbers. Some of them have started to dry out and, die off. So what I did was planted a new cucumber here and here. So I planted 2 cucumbers. I think I planted Firm Secret, if I remember correctly. That's what I have growing downstairs as well. So I think that's Firm Secret in both of these pockets. In less than a week, they've germinated. And hopefully they'll pick up as the mini me and the quick snack starts trailing off. Now, I could harvest some of those cucumbers, but I'm going to give it another week since I'm going to be out of town, let them all get to a really nice size, and then we should be harvesting at least a half dozen, if not more, from this one location. But that's all we're going to get indoors, y'all. That's it. That's all for today. Now upstairs, I should say. Now let's go downstairs to the indoor grow tent. Let me show you how my seedlings are doing. I think I'm going to harvest a few tomatoes and beans down there as well. But let's get down there. Let's look at the seedlings as well as the GreenStalks. Now, with me being gone for a week, and yes, y'all, by the time this video comes out, I will already be back. But with me being gone for a week, I have a plan on how everything's going to be taken care of while I'm gone. So no worries. So the first area I will show you is right here. So this is a LetPot seed starting station. When I first started this, I put the dome on, and every time I put the dome on this, I get algae growth. So I don't use the dome anymore. I replanted a few things. So for example, the Ruby King never came up. I think it's been long enough. So I put a few more seeds in Ruby King, Thunderbolt, and Yellow Monster. Those are all different types of peppers. Now that's not my primary planting for peppers. That was us playing around. But this one here came up already, as well as the one behind it. So these should have come up as well, and they haven't, as well as this one right here. And I've decided I really want to go all in on this Hungarian paprika. And y'all, I always say that wrong. I always say paprika. I know that's wrong, but y'all, when you as old as I am, when you're 53 years old and you've been saying something wrong your whole life, it's difficult to get the wheels to turning to correct yourself. But I'm working on it. I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it. So paprika, we want to grow a ton of that this year because I really want to make smoked paprika powder. So since those first two seeds came up so well, I decided to start another batch back here, and then we'll grow more with the rest of them when I get ready to grow all of my peppers. A week ago, we started one more row of seeds over here. The sage, y'all, came up. Look at that. We got sage finally coming up. I planted another row of Brussels sprouts, and I went ahead and up potted a lot of these. So you see a lot of empty holes back here, and that's because I took those and I up potted them, and you will see them in another place down here in the row area. The celery is coming up, so that second round of celery, the Utah celery back there, it's coming up. What else? What else is coming up back here? Oh, the marjoram. I finally got some marjoram to decide to do something for me, and it's coming up back there as well, and I think that's going to be blurry. But anyway, y'all, I've taken some things out and I put some more stuff in, and this area is doing well. Now, I did have to adjust the heat. I added more heat to this space here, and as soon as I did that, y'all, stuff started coming up like crazy. So I think that was the right step to do, since this is over here away from the heat of all of those grow lights. So I had it on low, and I've increased the heat now so that it maintains an 80-degree temperature for me. Moving on over here to this space. As I mentioned, I've up potted a few things. Like right here, y'all, this is a purple sprouting, I think. What is this? Ah, this is a red rubine or something like that, Brussels sprout, that I went ahead and up pot just to get it away from that space over there. The peppers back here, these are hot peppers. Megatron jalapeno peppers back here. They're doing really, really well. We're going to eventually take the top out of this one, and then it's going to give me a shorter, bushier plant, just like this one back here. What else we got over here? Let's turn this one around so I can see. In the front, I went ahead and up potted the oregano. So you see all of the oregano that we had growing. Now, I ended up with 12 plants, and to be honest with you, it was more like 20 plants, but I just went ahead and crumbled the rest of them up and turned them into compost because I knew 12 plants was more than enough for my garden, as well as for the plant sale that I'll be having probably in April at this time. But we got Thai basil growing back here. And yes, y'all, rosemary. Rosemary decided to come up. I got 3 little plants of rosemary. That's it, 3. But they came up, and I will take it. In the very back here, I got some Verando red. These are micro dwarf tomatoes, Verando red micro dwarf. And y'all, I was just planning around. I will find a place to put it. I'll probably put it in one of these spots in here at a later time. Heat wave is a type of lettuce. It's coming up. And then that burgundy delight is coming up as well. What else is over here? Thyme. We up potted thyme, I think, last week, so you've already seen that. And the lavender, y'all, is still looking good. Y'all, this lavender is just so healthy. Even Mom's super excited about the lavender. There's really nothing new over here. The celery is starting to look very healthy back here. This is looking good. The cilantro, for a minute there, I lost one. I lost a cilantro there, but it's hanging on, y'all. It's hanging on. Down here, all different types of brassicas. There's broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, could be Brussels sprouts down here, but this is everything that's growing indoors at the moment. And y'all, it looks good. The leaves are so dark. Now, I've been fertilizing these about once a week, y'all. I give it just I think it's like a half a teaspoon per gallon or something like that. I follow the directions on my liquid fertilizer. But y'all, they are healthy. They're happy. And y'all, I put some outside. I sure did. I started up my Vigo Garden grow tent or greenhouse, my Vigo Garden greenhouse that's on one of my metal raised beds. Y'all, we went ahead and put a few things out there. So if you haven't caught that video, you might want to catch that video and let's see, because we're starting outside about 4 weeks earlier than we normally do. Now, it might be too early. I might not get anything, but when you got this many vegetables behind you, it's going to be okay. That's one of my pots of tomato or of potatoes growing back there. It's got some dead spots. It's got some live spots. I'm going to keep on letting it do what it's going to do and see if we get some potatoes off of it. There are blooms way down in there somewhere, but y'all, I don't feel any potatoes growing. This one, I just set this one in the water that's coming out of both of my green stalks. I set it in the water so that it can absorb from the bottom, and then we'll put it back over here in its normal home. But we don't want to leave it sitting in that water. But I figured instead of having to water this, let's let that extra water take care of it for me. Now I'm going to move it out here shortly. On this side over here, I gave all of my onion a nice haircut. They all got a haircut. They're happy. I got rid of some of the onion that only had one or two in it. Not all of them. There's still a couple that's got one or two in it. But I took them outside and put them in that indoor greenhouse to see if they will survive out there. And if they do, I got room for a few more. So then we'll take this other one out. This only got like 6 onion in it. But all of the rest of them, y'all, they looking good. They got their hair cut. They're super happy and they will keep growing. And I am fertilizing them as well. Moving on to this area right here. I just up potted a few things. Since I'm going to be out of town, I went ahead. I mean, some of these are a little young to be up potting. You can't even see my hand. Where is my hand? All right. Right here. This one in my mind is a little young. It does have a true leaf on it right here. So technically it's large enough to be up potted, but I would have waited a little longer, but I went ahead and took care of that yesterday. What are these? These are probably different types of kales and collards. Yes, tatsoi, collards, and kale. That's what's in this one here. So it's looking good. Y'all, this next one I'm going to show you, I'm so happy. I was getting concerned, but y'all, the flowers finally germinated. Well, some of them did. So in the back, those impatiens, I can't see, so you might can't see. Those impatiens finally germinated back there. Not great, but they did germinate. These up here are not doing so well, but I got a couple. The coleus germinated very well, and the coleus seeds that I harvested from my own flowers are starting to come up as well. There's a little green in there. I purchased one other coleus seed pack, and it's called, yeah, I'll show you a picture of it, but they're germinating as well. But the begonias, nothing. I thought there was one that was coming up, but nothing. And now they're hard on top and kind of crusty. We might not get begonias, but that's okay. Moving over here, this is some of the other ones that I transplanted, or should I say up potted, not transplanted. So Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and cabbage back there. This is Korean Napa, and it was already up potted, but everything else over here are new up pots. I am down to only 4 trays left in my GreenStalk seed starting kit. So we will be planting more stuff very soon. But over here, y'all, look, sage came up in this one too. So sage is getting happy. We're finally going to get some sage. I just up potted the thyme, but then look, y'all, I had another one that decided to come up. So we left it in here and we're going to see if we can harvest that one a little later. My parsley, second time going around, it came up. When I come back from my trip, we will up pot that as well. All the way in the back, that's cilantro. And the cilantro, I had already up pot and separated it out. So there's only 3 plants in there. And then on this side, y'all, this is holy basil that came up back there. So we will up pot that next week as well. So cilantro, holy basil, and then this is all different types of lettuce, which is the next round when I'm ready to put it in there. Many different types of lettuce in there. And then coming on over here, more brassicas. There's a cabbage in here and purple sprouting broccoli maybe. Let's see. No, this is cauliflower, purple Sicily. Purple Sicily cauliflower, more cauliflower right there. That's it for all of my young seedlings that I have still indoors. But down in the very bottom, y'all, those are my microgreens. And they're still doing well. I just had to get them kind of out of the way. But I just watered them so they'll make it through the week until I get back. And when I get back, guess what, y'all? We're going to cut some more of those out and we're going to enjoy them. Now, I did plant them way too thick. I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I was trying. That's all that matters, right? I was trying. But next time I'll know that's too thick. Too thick. So I'm over to my lemon GreenStalk. That's where I am now. In the very bottom, I got lettuce growing. And then right here, y'all, I didn't think that my bok choy wasn't coming up, so I put something else in this pocket, and then guess what happened, y'all? The bok choy came up. So I got bok choy growing in here and some other stuff. So we might have to work on that pocket. 2 more pockets of lettuce down here, and the same thing in this pocket, bok choy, along with, I think this is cauliflower I put in here, early cauliflower, early white cauliflower is what I put in there. Moving up here, this is a salad bowl type lettuce right here. In this pocket, y'all, I got really the only thing growing in that pocket, y'all, are beans like this one right here. That's all growing in that pocket. Oh, but I'm using that pocket to help support my cucumbers as well. So I got little baby cucumbers in there, if you can see them. There's one over there. There's more over here. Oh, there's some really nice one hanging off of that one. Look at that. Nice cucumbers there and there. And then the beans right here. And that's really all that's growing in this next layer. So I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting these beans. Last week we harvested all of our yellow wax beans. So we don't have any more of those. And this might be the last week on green beans, just to be honest with you, because I could be using those pockets for something else. Y'all, look at those cucumbers. You can't even tell it, but there's so many cucumbers in there. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. But the beans, I think we're about done with beans. I didn't need any beans either. So I'm down here by myself. Buttons isn't here with me today. Where did it go? There they are. There aren't many in there, but we'll take it and still consider that a blessing. Now we're going to head over and we're going to look over there at that green stalk over there, and let's see what else we got going on. Oh, I got to come back over here. I got to show you the top tier. So in the top tier, that's where the cucumbers are really growing. But y'all, I started in this top tier. I moved over some of those onion. I moved them into a top tier right here. And where else? I put one in this one right here. I have 1 or 2 carrots that are living and surviving. And in this pocket, they're doing pretty good as well. There's a couple in there. and more cucumbers. When I got to the point where I started fertilizing about once a week, everything kind of perked up. And so maybe I need to fertilize every 7 days versus every 14 days indoors. I'm trying to be super careful, especially with my indoor grow space, because I'm not watering it as much as I would if I was outdoors, but I don't want to over fertilize. So I'm trying to be careful, but we'll just keep watching it as we go. And y'all, my scallions right here, or spring onion, whatever you want to call them, bunching onion, we harvested a few tops off of them. So we are enjoying scallions, bunching onion, green onion, whatever you call them. But I could be using the tops off of these onion for that same thing. All right, let's move over. In the top of this green stalk, we have a lot of orange hat. A lot of orange hat. Orange hat never fails, y'all. Never, never, never fails. I can pretty much say if orange hat won't grow, nothing will grow. And we're harvesting orange hat every week now. This tomato plant beside the orange hat all of a sudden turned green, got happy, and it also has blooms on it. I think they're tiny Tims, so they're happy. The tops off of my onion, I couldn't put them down low because I didn't want buttons to get them. So I am letting them compost up here in this top tier of this green stalk. My purple broccoli is doing well, and I have that in several places. I also transplanted in some bell peppers. So there's a bell pepper there. That one's not happy, but the one in the very top looks okay. And I cut this all the way back out. I cut it all the way out, and now, y'all, it's blooming again and giving me more peppers. So this one is super happy. It's some type of bell, I'm sure. Yep, it's a bell mix. I don't know which one it is, but it's a very old pepper. It was part of the ones that we overwintered. Some of them died, which is okay. Which is okay. Some died, some lived. And down here, this is more purple broccoli. And then that one plant right there, this one plant is a collard. And this one plant is ahead of all the other collards I have. So we'll find something to do with that one plant. So y'all, that's it. That's everything in the indoor grow space right now. So you got to see how things are doing and how things are not doing well in certain places. But for the most part, y'all, I'm super happy with the indoor grow space. And we got a ton of seed starts ready to go. And we're going to get some of them outside in the next few weeks. But that's the weekly update. I hope you enjoyed it. And come back next week for next week's update as well. And if you're one of the folks that are growing with me, you saw I went ahead and up potted a few things. If you haven't done that yet, take a look. If you got true leaves, you want to get those up potted if you can. But we didn't start anything new because I wouldn't start anything new without you. So until next time, and I hope there'll be a next time that you choose to hang out with me. Talk to you again soon. Bye.